Let's get started with our first news. Islam Makhachev receives a warning ahead of his UFC 322 fight. With just a week remaining until the highly anticipated event, Islam remains a heavy favorite on the betting lines to capture the welterweight title on November 15th. However, Bisping recently explained why Islam will need to be at his absolute best if he wants to end JDM's reign quickly. At UFC 322, JDM will defend his welterweight title for the first time since defeating Belal Muhammad back in May. That victory marked a turning point, as it ended the title reign of one of Islam's close friends. In response, the former lightweight champion decided to vacate his 155-pound belt and make the bold move up to welterweight. During a recent conversation with MMA journalist Mike Bond, Bisping broke down why JDM could pose some serious problems for the pound-for-pound star. He said, "When you look at JDM, he lost his first 2 fights, but since then he's been undefeated. He's big, a true welterweight. His boxing is beautiful, probably the best in all of the UFC. His footwork is incredible to watch, the kind that allows him to pivot, create angles, and stay off the fence." Bisping added that JDM's boxing-heavy approach means he won't rely much on kicks, which could be crucial in this matchup. And it's not just Bisping who believes JDM stands a real chance. Recently, Aljamain Sterling commented on a clip of JDM folding an opponent with a brutal hook, saying, "JDM is a beast, but if he doesn't put him away early, I think Islam Makhachev runs away with the fight." Despite the growing chatter, Islam doesn't appear to be fazed. The champion-in-waiting was recently seen joking around with his manager, Ali Abdelaziz, giving him a hard time during a lighthearted exchange. Laughing, Islam teased, "You represent this group? What are you guys doing? Make some barbecue grill." And just to keep fans entertained before fight week, streamer Aiden Ross revealed that the former lightweight king will be joining him for a live stream on Monday. All eyes are now locked on UFC 322 as Islam prepares for the biggest test of his career at 170 pounds. Move on to another news. Dana White admits he's not cut out to be a fighter. In a recent appearance, the UFC president opened up about his younger days, revealing that at one point, he truly believed he wanted to become a world champion fighter. However, with time and self-awareness, Dana realized that the fight life wasn't for him. "I respect all you guys, man," he began. "At one point in my life, I believed that I wanted to be a professional fighter and a world champion. But then you have to wake up, look in the mirror, and realize, yeah, you ain't it." Dana went on to explain that being a fighter requires something deep within, a drive, toughness, and mindset that only a few people on this planet truly possess. "You guys are different," he said passionately. "There's no other people on earth like you. A world championship football player, a world championship basketball player. It's not the same. What you do in that octagon, it's about who you are and how you're built," he continued, emphasizing how unique fighters are compared to athletes in other sports. "Movies, sports, world leaders, everybody's watching you. Fighters have something that can't be replicated anywhere else. The pressure, the pain, the preparation, it's on another level." Dana made it clear that combat sports hold a universal appeal, something no other sport can truly match. "World leaders aren't watching an NBA game on a Wednesday night," he said with conviction. "They're watching a fight on Saturday night." It was a powerful statement that showed his deep admiration for the athletes who step inside the cage. Dana acknowledged that while he once dreamed of doing the same, he simply didn't have that fighter's instinct or the mental edge required to survive in such a brutal and unforgiving sport. He described how the best fighters in the world share something primal, an internal fire that drives them to compete, to push through pain, and to face fear head-on. "It's not just about skills," he said. "It's about heart. It's about who can take the hits, keep moving forward, and refuse to quit. That's what separates fighters from everyone else." Dana's words served as both a confession and a tribute. A confession that he once dreamed of being in their shoes, and a tribute to those who actually made it there. "You guys are different," he repeated. "There's nothing like you anywhere else in the world." Move on to another news. Mauricio Ruffi versus Renato Moicano might be in the works. According to recent reports, the UFC is looking to book a potential matchup between the two talented lightweights. For Ruffi, this fight would be a big opportunity to bounce back after his recent submission loss to Benoit Saint-Denis. Despite the setback, Ruffi remains focused and motivated to return stronger than ever. In a recent interview with Cornerman, Ruffi opened up about his current mindset and how this fight came together. "I was just talking to my manager," he said. "Like I always say, I don't like fighting against Brazilians. It's not that I don't like it, but I think there are so many paths to take in the UFC that you don't need to face another Brazilian. Ruffy went on to explain that this particular matchup is a bit personal for him because of his respect for Moicano. In my case, it's against one of the guys I love most in this sport. He's someone I really like, he said. My manager wants to make this fight because he thinks it makes sense right now. With much of the lightweight division already booked or recovering from injuries, the timing seems right. Everyone else already has a fight scheduled, Ruffy explained. Others are injured, like Fiziev, Mateos Gamrot, who just fought. The UFC wants to give me a ranked opponent, and according to what my manager in the UFC told me, the fight they want is Mauricio Ruffy versus Moicano. While Ruffy made it clear that he and Moicano aren't close friends, he still holds him in high regard. We're not close friends or anything. He's someone I like and respect, but the UFC wants to make this fight happen. And honestly, I think it makes sense. Ruffy also made it known that he's ready to step back into the octagon as soon as possible. I want to fight as soon as possible, end of this year, or the beginning of next year, he said confidently. If this matchup gets finalized, fans can expect an exciting clash between two highly technical and aggressive Brazilian fighters. Both men are known for their well-rounded skills, Moicano with his dangerous grappling and crisp striking, and Ruffy with his explosive offense and constant pressure. It's a fight that could easily steal the show whenever it happens. Move on to another news. Bisping gives his picks for UFC 322. In a lighthearted and entertaining moment, Bisping sat down to share his thoughts and predictions for one of the most stacked cards of the year. It all started with a playful interruption. "Michael, I need to talk to you about something," a voice called out. Bisping sighed and said, "Connor, man, just give me a bit of peace." "My word, I'm trying to relax here." But as soon as he heard UFC 322, his energy changed completely. Whoa. UFC 322? That's my world. What do you want to know, babe? The first matchup he discussed was between Beneil Dariush and Benoit Saint-Denis. This is a great fight to kick off the main card, Bisping said. However, I'm going with the experience. Beneil was on an 8-fight win streak before dropping his last 2. I think people are overlooking him. I'll take Beneil Dariush by decision. Next up was Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. I hate to say this, Bisping admitted. I love Leon, UK, don't turn your back on me. But I think Carlos Prates is going to come out like a bat out of hell. I see him winning a decision here, guys. When it came to the welterweight bout between Sean Brady and Michael Morales, Bisping didn't hesitate. Michael Morales is awesome. He's 18-0, a great striker. But he's going to get taken down and he's going to get submitted by Sean Brady. That's my pick. Then came the highly anticipated women's title fight between Valentina Shevchenko and Zhang Weili. I love both of these. Ladies, Bisping said, they're incredible. But Valentina has defended her belt so many times. She's the better striker. She can wrestle these days, and let's not forget, she can speak 5 languages and fly an airplane. She's winning this fight. Valentina Shevchenko by decision. Finally, Bisping gave his take on the main event, JDM versus Islam Makhachev. This is going to be a great fight, he said. I'm going with the underdog. JDM just beat Bilal Muhammad by decision, and I think he's going to do the same to Islam. I could be wrong. I love both of these guys, but I'm picking Jack to win by decision. After running through all his picks, Bisping chuckled and said, "Babe, can I relax now?" My word, it's been a stressful day. Leave me alone. Go away. Move on to another news. Beneil Dariush believes Arman will beat Dan Hooker, but he's not completely counting the hangman out. The two lightweights are scheduled to face off at UFC Qatar on November 22nd. And according to Beneil, fans should expect a competitive, high-paced battle between two of the most durable fighters in the division. In a recent interview with MMA Junkie, Beneil shared his thoughts on how the fight might play out. "Yes, I do think Arman beats Dan Hooker," he said confidently, "and I think he could do it very dominantly. But in a 5-round fight, I've got to tell you, man, Hooker is a dog." Beneil went on to explain that even though Arman is the favorite and a rising contender, Hooker's toughness and ability to absorb punishment make him dangerous in longer fights. He doesn't have to win the first 2 rounds, Beneil said. But if he just does well, if he keeps it close and makes Arman work, then it becomes a really interesting fight. He highlighted how the length of the bout could be a major factor. The 5 rounds are going to be fascinating to watch, he continued. Because if Hooker can drag Arman into deep waters, that's when things could get interesting. Arman's pressure and pace are incredible, but Hooker has shown over and over again that he can take a beating and keep moving forward. Dariush, who knows firsthand how skilled Arman is after sharing the octagon with him, still gave Hooker credit for his veteran experience and resilience. Dan Hooker has been in some absolute wars, Beneil said. He's tough as nails, man. He's fought the best in the world. Guys like Dustin Poirier, Michael Chandler, and Islam Makhachev. You can never completely count him out. He always finds a way to make things gritty. However, Beneil made it clear that if Arman stays disciplined and controls the pace, he sees the fight going one way. If Arman fights smart, uses his wrestling, his timing, and his pressure, I think he can dominate, he said. He's young, hungry, and constantly improving. He reminds me of myself when I first started climbing the rankings. He concluded by saying this matchup is exactly what the lightweight division needs right now. A mix of experience and youth, heart, and skill. It's going to be a fun fight to watch, Beneil said. Both guys are warriors, but I've got Arman taking it in impressive fashion. Move on to another news. JDM has his eyes set on a massive future showdown with Khamzat. The reigning welterweight champion recently revealed that once he's finished clearing out the 170-pound division, he'd love to move up to middleweight and test himself against one of the most feared fighters in the sport. Speaking about his goals, JDM said he's focused on building a dominant legacy before thinking about any weight class changes. I would like to be a defending champion, he said. I like to see a champion at least clean out a lot of the top 10 guys before moving up. That's the way I see it. He then praised Islam for the way he's handled his career. I respect what Islam's done. I think he's moved up at a good time. He did good work at lightweight, cleaned out his division, and then decided to move up. I respect that. And I'll try to do the same. I want to defend my belt multiple times before even considering changing divisions. When asked whether a move to middleweight could happen one day, JDM didn't hesitate. Yeah, for sure, he said. I think so. I've always said I'd like to fight Khamzat at some point if my career goes where I believe it will. It's clear that JDM isn't just focused on staying champion, he wants to make history. His mindset is about dominance, legacy, and testing himself against the very best across divisions. If I get the job done at welterweight, he said, then why not move up and challenge myself? Fighting someone like Khamzat would be massive. That's the kind of fight that defines a career. While he remains grounded and focused on his current goals, JDM's confidence continues to grow with every victory. Right now, my job is to defend the belt, he added. There's still plenty of guys in the top 10 that I want to fight. I want to prove I'm the best in the world at 171st. A potential matchup between JDM and Khamzat would be nothing short of explosive. Both men are known for their aggression, precision, and relentless pace. JDM's boxing is considered among the best in the UFC, while Khamzat's grappling and pressure are unmatched. If this fight ever becomes reality, it could easily be one of the biggest clashes in modern MMA, a true collision between two of the most dangerous fighters in the game. For now, though, JDM remains focused on conquering welterweight before chasing even greater challenges. Move on to another news. Dana White removes multiple fighters from the UFC roster, following the conclusion of another season of Dana White's Contender Series, which brought in a fresh wave of new talent. The promotion has begun making roster adjustments to make space for the newly signed athletes. As a result, several names have now been officially removed from the UFC lineup. Among those released are Yanal Ashmus, Rolando Bedoya, and Kang Lee. These cuts are part of the organization's ongoing effort to keep the roster balanced as new prospects earn their opportunity to compete on the sport's biggest stage. Ashmus, who entered the UFC with high expectations, finishes his run in the promotion with a record of 2 wins and 2 losses. Known for his explosive striking and aggressive style, Ashmus made an early impression but struggled to maintain consistency inside the octagon. His most recent appearance came in June, where he dropped a hard-fought decision to Quillan Salk. Despite showing flashes of potential, that defeat ultimately marked his final outing under the UFC banner. Rolando Bedoya, meanwhile, had a much tougher stretch. The Peruvian fighter went winless in 4 UFC appearances, facing stiff competition throughout his tenure. Bedoya's last fight took place in September, where he lost by decision to Jamie Mullarkey. While his performances were competitive, the inability to secure a win left him on shaky ground, and the UFC has now chosen to part ways with him as well. Lastly, Kang Lee's time with the promotion has also come to an end. The South Korean featherweight went 1-3 across his 4 UFC bouts. His most recent fight was against Santiago Luna on September 13th, where he was stopped before the final bell. Despite his exciting fighting style and willingness to engage, Lee's inconsistency inside the cage cost him his spot on the roster. These changes come as part of the UFC's standard postseason reshuffle, something that happens regularly following the Contender Series. with dozens of new fighters joining the ranks. Difficult decisions must be made to maintain the organization's competitive balance. Even though Ashmus, Bedoya, and Lee are no longer part of the promotion, all three have shown flashes of skill and toughness that could earn them another shot in the future. Many fighters have been released before only to fight their way back stronger than ever, and time will tell if any of these three can do the same.